Hey guys, so in a previous video I was reminiscing about some of the early days of fan collecting, and I was talking about some of the fans that I saw in my childhood and always wanted to see again and never really learned what they were until I became a collector. And there's one fan in particular that I can think of that I saw as a child and loved and still haven't seen, still haven't found, still don't know what it is. So I'm going to try to describe it. And again, this was going by my memory as like a third grader, second grader, so some of the details may be off. It was a very small fan, like no more than 42 inches, probably closer to 36. It appeared to be K55 type, but don't hold me to that. Bottom, it definitely had like the three-piece motor housing, you know, with the separate sideband and the cast top piece and the cast bottom piece, as opposed to like a one-piece motor housing or two. The top piece of the motor housing seemed kind of scalloped, maybe like a Lady Delta or Victorian. You know, it wasn't plain. The bottom, I don't remember if it was plain or not, but it did not have any vents. It was not ornate and it did not have vents. Switch housing was very small and kind of tapered in. Like you think like the switch housing on a Dayton Lasco or some of the 90s Minkas that are a little more modern, you know, where they have this little small switch housing that gets smaller as it goes down, as opposed to like a Hunter original switch housing that gets wider as it goes down, or a Blender fan or whatever. 4 blades. Don't remember anything about the blade brackets because it was spinning. Bell canopy, little tiny bell canopy that in my memory is the same or similar to like an early Newtone Veranda Deluxe with that, you know, little tiny little bell canopy. 2 pull chains on opposite sides of the switch housing. This fan was in the Milwaukee Public Museum gift shop over the cash register. There were 2 fans in the Milwaukee Public Museum, and it had just like this insanely tall ceiling, and this fan was on a long down rod to reach all the way down to like normal height. So it was on like a 10-foot down rod over the cash register. And then over a different part of the gift shop, there was one of my other all-time favorite fans, a 3-blade K63 Blender fan in brown. And we only went to the Milwaukee Museum once before they were remodeled, and both fans were on. The Blender fan was on kind of a medium-low, and the this fan, the unknown fan, was on what looked like high. And then, so I begged to go back to the Milwaukee Museum, because I especially, I had a camera now, I wanted to take a picture of it. So I begged to go back to the Milwaukee Museum and take a picture of the fan, and I went back there, and of course, both fans were gone. The museum had been completely remodeled. They had put originals in the newly remodeled gift shop, which is, you know, I mean, that's a good fan for them to put, especially this would have been in the 90s, maybe 80s, 90s by the time we went back. And yeah, it would have been in the 90s by the time we went back, and 5-blade originals, and, you know, but American made. And there was a cafeteria in the basement that had ring fans, and that was long gone as well. So definitely very sad about that. But yeah, I this is one of the fans that to this day I have not figured out what it is. I would love to see one again so I can figure out what it is. The only other fan to this day that I love that I haven't figured out what it is the iFan. And come to think of it, there's some similarities there if you think about it, with the 3-piece motor housing, the little small switch housing that tapers in, bell canopy, and even in my memory, the shape of the motor housing is kind of similar, and even the shape of the blades is kind of similar, but I might just be making that up. So, yeah, if you've ever seen anything like this, you know, let me know. Keep an eye out if you ever see one again. I'm definitely curious. I also remember the blades being very steeply pitched. I don't think it was reverse pitch, but I remember a very steep blade pitch. So there's that. Okay. Well, thanks for watching.